So first up, we're going to have Reverend Dixon from the Eastchester Church of God to give us an opening prayer.
Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to all of you. This is a joyous occasion for all of us here in the Bronx. It's an achievement that can only be punctuated with praise be to God. Let us pray. Praise be to God for this groundbreaking moment. Praise be to God for all who made this happen, all those who were personally involved in conceptualizing and shaping this project. Praise be to God for the leadership, foresight, and careful planning. Praise be to God for the many young people and adults who will be benefited by the programs of the YMCA, youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. Heavenly Father, we are grateful for a place where our children will learn, grow, play, and be safe. We're grateful that this building will help our borough to be a place where parents are proud to raise their children and people can come together as a community. Bless those who will construct this project. May they have safe working conditions and may no evil befall them. Bless this project so that it will be completed on schedule and on the budget. May the jobs created by this project sustain families who will call this bar their home. And may we together, with your divine help and guidance, continue to build a borough that is second to none. And all the people say, amen. God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Dixon. So, what a great day this is for the community. I'd say in my 16 years, this is probably one of the more proud moments that I've had in representing this community. I think back for decades, this type of center has been something that this community dreamed of, and so it's just a great day that we're finally here today. Nearly 1.5 million people live here in the Bronx, but we have one of the highest poverty rates in our state, and recreation opportunities are limited. The YMCA is pledged to make this facility affordable for everyone. The YMCA is pledged to have an MWBE component and hire local people and pay a living wage. This facility will feature a full listing of YMCA programming for all ages, including after-school educational programs, youth day camps and holiday camps during school breaks, teen center, swimming lessons for all ages and skill levels, diabetes prevention programs, family programs that encourage parental participation in recreation and health, personal training and group exercise classes such as aerobics, step classes, yoga, Zumba, spin, and martial arts. Senior adult programs including health and wellness, arthritis, water exercises, and social activities, civic classes, and other programs for new Americans. So I could just say that this is a time where everybody in this community made this project a reality. And a little later, after some of my colleagues speak, I want to touch on some people that I really want to point out as to why we are here where we are today. But first up, I've told many people that we've been asking for this for decades, and this community has asked for this from different mayors, from Koch to Dinkins to Giuliani to Bloomberg, and now to Mayor de Blasio. So I'm happy to say they all listened, but one finally carried through, and we're here today. And I remember after Mayor de Blasio won the primary, and I sat down with one of his staff people, Emma Wolf, who's here, and I told her how important this was, and she said that the incoming mayor would be committed to doing it. So with no further ado, I just want to say in front of everyone, Mr. Mayor, we wouldn't be here without you, so thank you.
Well, what was the list now? It was Koch, Dinkins, Giuliani, Bloomberg, so I'm the fifth. So fifth time is a charm. Don't they say that? Fifth time is a charm. I want to say to Speaker Carl Hastie, who I consider a real friend personally, and I consider one of the best friends New York City ever had in Albany. as everyone in this community knows, all his colleagues know, a good and decent man, a humble man, the kind of guy who actually shares credit. And that is not typical of people in public life necessarily, but he's the kind of guy who wants to share credit, wants to build a coalition to get something done. So it was very kind of him to say we wouldn't be here without me, but I think a even truer statement is we wouldn't be here without the persistence and the leadership of Carl Hastie. So thank you. This community has waited a long time, and we have made it our business in this administration to try and right a lot of wrongs, and we've gone many places where people were trying to get something changed for not just years but decades, whether it was something the community needed like this extraordinary facility or whether it was policies that were hurting and undermining our people. The process of change takes persistence and focus, and there's so many voices out there in the course of years and years. I've seen this in public life. You constantly get told what you can't do. But people in this community did not buy the notion that they could not prevail. And I want to compliment everyone here. I know there's people here who have been fighting for this idea literally for the last couple of decades. It's the folks who give up who never get to this day, right? I don't know about you, but to me, generally speaking, people from the great borough of the Bronx don't like to give up. They have strength and persistence. People in many parts of the Bronx have fought long, tough battles to be able to live in the goodness of today's Bronx. And I think there's a reason we're standing here today, is that a lot of people here believe this community deserved this and never stopped the fight. So give yourselves a round of applause. Now I want to thank so many folks who are with us. First, I want to thank the elected officials. I want to thank the borough president for always standing up for the Bronx, and I will show him. I know my proper symbolism. I want to thank our great district attorney who's making the Bronx safer, Darcel Clark. Thank you. Want to thank another guy who looks out for us in Albany and does a great job protecting New York City's interests, Assemblymember Jeffrey Dinowitz. Thank you. Want to thank my old friend, and I'm so happy that he is now a member of the City Council. He fought for a long time to be one, and he is doing great work. Councilmember Andy King, thank you. And I want to thank a council member who I really like, but my wife likes even more, because he has become a real partner in her effort to create a real new world for helping people with mental health challenges in New York City, and that's the chair of the Mental Health Committee, Andy Cohen. Councilmember Andy Cohen, thank you. From my administration, the Bronx's own Gladys Carrion, Commissioner ACS, thank you. President of the Economic Development Corporation, Maria Torres Springer, thank you. And then some folks who are absolutely crucial to our ability to do this today. I want to first thank the folks who have fought for this day. Walter McNeil, President of the Edenwall Houses Resident Association. Thank you to you and all of the residents. Al DeCastro, who's been a real activist. And they say it takes a village, so now the village has the YMCA as a partner, so I want to thank the President and CEO, Sharon Greenberger. Thank you. So this is a great day for this community. It's a great day for Edenwald Houses, the Bronx's largest NYCHA development. 5,000 plus people will benefit from what we're going to build right here. It's a great day for the Bronx as a whole. It's a day we're getting something done. And boy, people waited a long time, but what excitement we're going to experience now to actually see this come to life. It's going to be a sweet, sweet experience. And it has come, as I said, years in the making, but now you're going to actually get to see this happen. And it's going to be beautiful. So, if you ever want to meet with me, I'll be here. I'll be leaning against that rock, reading a book, do a kind of office hours thing. You just walk up with your concern. You know where to find me. So this was a vacant lot. And now it will be a 50,000 square feet recreation center. Doesn't that sound good? State of the art, up to date. Carl already listed every conceivable element of it, including the Zumba classes. That's to prove we're up to date in our programming. A full gym, a full-size basketball court, and not one but 2 swimming pools. I would urge people, especially when it first opens, swim in one pool and then say, hey, I think I'll just swim in the other pool. I'll go over to the other one, do that too. Our young people will benefit. We'll have camp programs here, after-school programs, a teen center, but our seniors will benefit greatly as well. So it'll be for everyone. Now, here's where I get to do my late-night advertising pitch here. This kind of beautiful modern facility, up to date with all the different services, all the equipment, everything you could want. Well, this kind of facility normally costs hundreds of dollars a month for a membership. But if you call now, it's not going to be that way here, because we believe everyone deserves a chance at recreation and healthiness. We believe everyone, it's not about what zip code you're from or how much money is in your wallet. Everyone deserves a chance to be healthy. So this center is going to be for everyone regardless of ability to pay. It's going to be open to all. And I've talked to the speaker about this. I've talked to the borough president about this. We know that there have been disparities all over the city, and why I came here to be your mayor was to fight those disparities and those inequalities. We know the Bronx has had more than its fair share, and there's lots to do and lots to fix. And when it comes to recreation, here's an example. You think about the city of New York as a whole. Per 1,000 children, citywide average, there are 13 acres of parks and playgrounds per 1,000 children citywide. But in Bronx Community Board District 12, it's only 3 acres per 1,000 children. So we know, that tale of two cities I talked about, we have a lot of work to do to even up the score, to really create opportunity, particularly to create opportunities for a healthy lifestyle for folks who have dealt with a lot of the things that undermine a healthy lifestyle. And those are societal realities that we're trying to go right at the core of and change at the root. But in the meantime, a facility like this can go a long way to helping our young people in particular to live a healthy, positive life. So this is an investment in the community. I have a special passion for when we invest in our young people, because not only is it the morally right thing to do, they're going to be taken over soon, and we have to get it right for them. Now, at the same time, we have a chance to do something that makes an economic difference, and you heard the speaker refer to it. There's going to be about 100 jobs created here, and that's important. But a lot of what, again, the speaker and I have talked about and acted on this, the borough president and I, we felt for a long time, it's, just the jobs, that's not the end of the discussion. You need living wage jobs, first of all, that people can actually afford to take care of their family with. So we're going to have living wage jobs. You need to make sure to the maximum extent possible that local residents get as many of those jobs as possible, and that is a commitment. And if you want to right the wrongs, and I always say to people, I just want to be real. I think realness is valued in the Bronx. Bluntness is valued. If you want to overcome economic inequality and hundreds of years of structural racism, which go together, then we have to maximize opportunity for minority and women-owned businesses. And we will do that with this project as well. 35% goal for minority and women-owned businesses in the construction of this center. There's going to be something for everyone, for folks at Edenwald, for folks, kids go to the local schools, 5 local schools nearby. Even if you're a senior in Co-op City, you're a short ride away on the BX30. Everyone's going to be able to benefit from this. And this is going to take us one step closer to a healthier, stronger, fairer city for all. Just a few words in Español. Me complace anunciar un nuevo y moderno centro recreativo que será construido por YMCA aquí en el YMCA, aquí en Edenwald, en el Bronx. Este proyecto es posible gracias al gran apoyo por varios años del presidente de la Asamblea Estatal, Carl Hastie. Sounds great in Spanish too, doesn't it? Creemos que cada trabajador neoyorquino, cada niño, cada persona mayor y cada comunidad deben tener todas las oportunidades para una vida sana y segura. It is a joy to be with you here today. Thank you to everyone, and a special thanks again to Speaker Carl Hastie. Pass the baton.
So as the mayor said, there are a lot of people who participated in this, and as I think about it, and I see that her two children are here, someone who we lost a short time ago, who, while she was the district manager, community board, constantly wanted us to have this center. So I want us to remember to keep Carmen Rosa in mind as we're here today. She was one of the people that was always in my ear that we finally had to get it done. So I'm pretty sure that Carmen is looking down on us and saying, finally. So next up, you know, when we talked that this had happened for decades, it was like ebb and flows. We talk about it, we kind of slow down. We talk about it and kind of slow down. And then we started to talk about it again. The borough president started convening meetings with us and the other elected officials that represent the area. And we said that we were going to do this. He said he was going to make sure that he was going to put his pocketbook up on the table as well. So with that, I want us to bring up our wonderful borough president, Ruben Diaz, Jr.
Good afternoon, everyone. God is good. And all the time, I'll tell you, he's good because he's been able to bestow on this young man the consistency, the tenacity, the commitment to this community. And God is good because he's been able to elevate Carl Hastie to Speaker of the New York State Assembly. And that's important, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be honest here. You know, when you look at the fact that he's up there with all of the different challenges, negotiating budgets, legislation, with the governor, with the Senate, and as the mayor said, protecting the city of New York, and yet still understands that he serves a local assembly district and does not forget, God is good to give us Carl Hastie. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, it was very early on when I first got elected that individuals like Shirley and Al and so many of you, and Carmen, when she was with us, so many of you said, you know, we want you as the borough president not to forget this neck of the woods. And it was early on that you held my feet to the fire. And it was because of that over my borough presidency, we've been able to do nearly 40 projects just in the 83rd Assembly District, millions of dollars in housing, almost $3 million in our schools, teaming up with Andy King. Let's give Andy King a strong round of applause as well. All of the public schools and many of our preparatory academies here, giving cameras, allocating money to surveillance and cameras to Edenwald and other housing developments. And just yesterday, while we were all out and the nation was pausing on National Night Out and we were out here celebrating, coming together as a community, one of the things that hits me is that we always talk about fighting against the criminal element. And yes, we have to do that, and we're going to continue to do that. The Bronx is the safest Bronx it has been over the last 50 years, thanks to the men and women of the NYPD. It is working with the community and the elected officials. It is the reason why we've been able to cut unemployment. It is the reason why we've been able to have so much economic development. But it is facilities like this and programs like this that we need to ensure that we have for our youth. Our babies who are sitting right here, right behind us. In the shade. Yes, we need to go out there and identify the criminal element, and we need to combat that. But we have to give our youth a place to go. We have to give them programs. We have to give them the ability to expand their imagination, to go out there and conquer their universe. And that's what we are doing here today. It's more than just cement and bricks and mortar. This is about creating a space so that the spirit of our youth is healthy. It's a long time in the making, as the mayor said. And so we thank all of the agencies. We thank the mayor, we thank the city, we thank the speaker. But ultimately, what do we want? We want a better future for our children. We want a better future for our Bronx. And let me just say this, that the YMCA, what a credible organization. Let me say that again, the YMCA, what a credible organization. We have a YMCA in the Castle Hill section of the Bronx. You know that with La Central in the South Bronx, we're going to have, what, a 25,000 square foot YMCA? Is it 20? 45,000 square foot YMCA, excuse me. And so I'm definitely, Mr. Speaker, putting my money where my mouth is here so I don't get in trouble with the North Bronxers either. Brevemente en el español, déjeme dejarle decir que me siento orgulloso de estar aquí hoy. Esto, damas y caballeros, es una lección cívica donde el gobierno de la ciudad de Nueva York, el alcalde de Blasio, el portavoz de la asamblea, Carl Hasty, los oficiales electos locales, los activistas, los líderes locales, el presidente del condado del Bronx, estamos aquí con el YMCA juntamente para darle a la comunidad lo que se merece. Lo que la comunidad se merece, por fin, es un edificio como este, que tenga programa, que tenga un sitio, una oportunidad para nuestro futuro, nuestros niños, que puedan ser todo lo que quieran, que puedan ahí expandir sus imaginaciones. Y yo, como presidente del condado del Bronx, me siento sumamente orgulloso de no solamente crear trabajo y oportunidades en otros sectores, sino también estar aquí hoy con Andy King, con Carl Hasty, con el alcalde y todos ustedes. Gracias a Wilhelm Ronda, gracias a James Rouse. I just want to thank Wilhelm Ronda from my staff and James Rouse from my staff. They deserve a strong round of applause. So, Mr. Speaker, Al, Shirley, you can rest assured that I will commit millions of dollars in the next 3 years till we get this done. God bless you, and let's make it happen.
Before we get to hearing from Councilman King, my partner up here, I too want to acknowledge the staff that works with me on this. Last year, my first year being Speaker of the Assembly, I didn't get to spend as much time as I would have liked to here as I was doing my non-New York City tour, making sure that people around the state knew that although I'm a speaker from the city, I would care about all parts of the state, but I was, as I always say, I was never too shy to tell people what county and what district will always be first in my heart. But while I was away, I had the entire staff, but in particularly two staff members that worked here in the district office. One, my chief of staff, Giovanni Brooks, who started going with me to the meetings in the borough president's office before she was even my chief of staff. and hopefully her 1-year-old daughter will be going to the YMCA soon. And Jamal Bailey, who really was dealing with the negotiations of the city, constantly calling Emma, saying, when were we going to get this done? So I want to thank Jamal for pestering Emma for us to get this done. And there are many people still, out here in the community who I know is always waiting on us, always ask for this. I saw Walter Bergen in the back. I know Walter always, talked about this. But now also when Councilman King got elected, again, these meetings, I said it was ebbs and flows, and then it started to get high and important again. And then Councilman King said, we got to get this done. So we want to bring up our colorful councilman, Andy King.
Well, thank you for the color, my brother. Good afternoon, everyone. Matter of fact, good afternoon, family. Good afternoon, 12th District. Good afternoon, 83rd District. Good afternoon, 36. And if you're in Congress, I guess we're somewhere in the 17th. And if you want to be in the 16th, but we'll be in the 17th for today. But it's a beautiful day in the 12th. The borough president said God is good. Yes, God is good. We've been praying for this for so long. I'm going to tell you how long these conversations with me have started. I was playing basketball for then Assemblyman Larry Seabrook. And he started talking about, we gonna build it. King, we gonna build this. We gonna build a center for y'all, and we gonna build it. And I said, okay. And we gonna use that Grand Union that's right there on Bronx. So y'all remember the Grand Union, right? Now that goes back a while when I had an afro and some of us were slimmer. But that was the start of us having a conversation because we had nothing but concrete jungles up here where we used to play on and tear our knees up. But, Chuck Taylors did what they could do on that asphalt. But today we are so happy, and I'm so happy and proud because as we transition from conversation to conversation, people to people, from the number of mayors and elected officials have been part of the conversation, I'm just excited today that because the work of, as I call Mr. President for Life, Al DeCastro, our great borough president of the day, Mr. Ruben Diaz Jr., our number 5th charm, Mayor Bill de Blasio, 5. But all of these individuals with the leadership of our speaker, because I remember 10 years ago when I was still working with the Bronx Youth Empowerment Program, and those North Bronx conversations used to happen all around at these little schools, all of us coming together, Shirley and Al DeCastro and Jesse Collins and everybody else from Suze and everybody else was coming together, how do we make sure that our children have access to opportunities and being able to exercise at the same time. And for those of you who don't know, our district is the only district that doesn't have a dedicated youth center YMC Boys and Girls Club. So today, this conversation allows us to give thanks to the Y, Sharon Greenberg, thank you, the Y, so we can deliver on today's future. And today's future is not just about those who are under the age of 25 or under the age of 17 or those who are chilling in the shade, but it's about all of you who are over 50 because you all going to use this facility to offer your experience and expertise to help today's future, those underneath the shades, get it right as well. So we need for you all to participate in using this facility. For those of you who have that funny walk because of arthritis, you come and get in the pool and you have a great new walk. For those of you who are trying to strengthen up those biceps, you can come on out here to the gym and strengthen up those biceps. And for those of us who just need some exercise for our lungs or just come outside and enjoy the breeze of all this green space that we have out here, the North Bronx represents something great, and we are that greatness here today. So my colorful brother from the 83rd, Mr. Speaker, if you allow me to just say to you, I am grateful because there have been a lot of conversations, and I'm glad for Mr. Borough President, Mr. Mayor. I am glad that since both of us grew up in this neighborhood, our legacy would say, what if people look back and say, what if our elected officials delivered? They can look at Carl Hastie, the Speaker of the State Assembly, and their current councilman say, hey, they did something. We can see what they did. And I'm grateful to be in leadership at this time with you, brother. God bless. Thank you, Y.
I'm the only short one in the group. So. You know, from the mayor to the borough president to the councilman, you know, you mentioned the why. And we are going to introduce Sharon Greenberger to speak. But I do want people to understand how important this is, how long we've been in discussions trying to get people to be interested in coming up here. And we opened this up to everybody. The RFP process and even discussions, we started meeting with all organizations. No one had a commitment to want to come up here other than the Y. So I just want people to understand that. And we should give them a big round of applause for that. And secondly, you know, the mayor pointed out we're, you know, just a few steps away from Edenwald, which is not only one of the largest, but also one of the most economically challenged housing developments, not just in the Bronx or the city, but in the nation. So the conversation with the Y was, we want to make sure that no one is going to be excluded from being able to participate in this center. And the Y has given us that commitment. We will work on the membership structure to make sure that the families in Edenwald and Baychester, because I see the president of Baychester, Sandy Gross, is here. So I want to make sure that she's not mad at us when she goes back, and she can go back and tell everybody in Baychester that the Y and all of us made the commitment that this center will be affordable for everyone. And I know that Assemblyman Dinowitz is here and Councilman Cohen was here, and even though the facility is going to be built here in the 83rd, this is going to be open to Assemblyman Dinowitz's constituents since he's a neighboring district. So I want to say I'm very happy that Assemblyman Dinowitz is here as well. But I do now want to let Sharon Greenberger, the president and CEO of the YMCA, come up. And again, I want to give them, because the funding of this project, this isn't just all coming from government. The Y is, you know, they're putting their money where their mouth is as well, and they're giving $12 million of their money towards this project as well. So I want you to give Sharon a big round of applause.
I'm going to use the podium too. Oh, it's nice in the shade. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really an honor to join you here to announce our collective plans for a new YMCA in the Edenwald neighborhood of the Bronx. And first, I also want to express some thank yous. I'd like to thank Mayor de Blasio and the city's Economic Development Corporation and Maria Torres and her team for their leadership and commitment to ensuring that the Y can be here for good for even more New Yorkers. I also want to thank and extend my real gratitude to New York State Assembly Speaker Carl Hastie, whose vision and dedication, as you have all heard, his vision to this and commitment to this community helped get us here today. Thank you. And I'd also like to express my thanks to Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. and Councilmember Andy King for their friendship and commitment to making this possible. And a very quick shout out to Paul Kuster and Sharon Levy of the Y for pursuing this project with such zeal for so many years. So to Paul. We'd like to thank all of you for giving Bronx residents another reason why to love their borough. This new YMCA, as you've heard, will serve over 25,000 community residents every year and will offer programming to all ages that we know will have a positive impact on the health and well-being of the Edenwald community. And you've heard a lot about all the facilities and the state-of-the-art gymnasium and pools and latest fitness equipment. I will just say, and the rendering, I think, is a testament to this, it will be beautiful, it will be accessible, it will be barrier-free, it will be welcoming, and it will really enliven that corner. And so we are committed to a great design for this community. There will be something for everyone at the Y, from babies to seniors. As you've heard, along the continuum of ages, our services are here to meet the needs of the communities we serve. And from our experience, we also know that there will be no shortage of fun and no shortage of smiles and no shortage of friendships that are forged at the new Y. And as you've heard, we will offer some of those essential programs like Y After School, our Swim for Life program, which is so important, a variety of free teen programs and day camp, Really, when a Y comes to a neighborhood and joins with a neighborhood, it's more than a recreational center or gym. The Y is a center of community life where people come together to achieve positive change in their lives and to find a sense of belonging. Again and again, when we talk to members, we hear from them how important other members are. They are family to them, and these centers are their second homes. And as you've heard, a new Y also creates jobs. From lifeguards to camp counselors to full-time program directors, we look to hire locally to support each neighborhood we serve. In addition to the 100 permanent jobs, we know that this project will generate another 100 construction jobs, and we will meet our 35% MWBE participation goal. One note on timing. We expect to finish public approvals in a way that will allow us to break ground in 2018 and open in early 2020. And I know it seems like a lot, but there are processes that you have to go through, and we are going to go through them as fast as possible and as diligently as possible. During the time that we go through that public approval process, it gives us time to get to know all of you, to work with you, and to really finalize a design and program that will best meet your needs. And I just want to highlight one final point, and that is that today is possible because of your tireless support and passion for this project, and we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you and work with you. We look forward to working with our community partners, some of whom we know very well, others of whom we know we will meet. And as we do begin that design process, we want to work together not just to develop a new Y, but to really build and strengthen relationships with our soon-to-be neighbors and friends, and we can't wait to get started. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Sharon. So when I mentioned again about the ebbs and flows, and so when the conversation started again, it was Al DeCastro and Shirley Fearon who became the co-chairs of the community organization of the community organizations to have these conversations, and they would call us to a meeting. So no, after that. So we're going to first hear from Al DeCastro, Shirley Fearon, and then we're going to hear from one of the local teenagers who I know is looking forward to participating in the Y. So first up is Al DeCastro.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we gather here this afternoon, let us give thanks to God that He has brought us this far to witness this occasion. Today is a day of thanksgiving. You know, life is a journey. As we grow, we take one step at a time, and that's what we did to arrive at this moment in time. In the spring of 2009, we were at a community breakfast at the Eastwood Manor. Somehow I got a vision. I think God was speaking to me. It occurred to me that the possibility existed that the time was ripe to get something to our community that was long overdue. At that time, our assemblyman, who was also the county leader, and his good friend was the borough president. As they say, the stars were in alignment. I looked around the dining room at the Eastwood, and I saw all these community leaders who had been toiling tirelessly for years to improve the quality of life for us here in this community. I said, what better time than now to coalesce this group? Along with my partner Shirley Fearon and others, we formed an organization that we call the Northeast Bronx Community Coalition. The purpose of the coalition was to petition our elected officials for several projects, one of which was a community center. We appealed to our community board, chaired by Father Gorman and District Manager Carmen Rosa, to open the doors as we hosted many public forums. We visited every elected official in the district, every elected official who represented this district, either in part or in whole. We also met with ACS and Parks with the assistance from our elected officials. And I must reiterate, Carmen Rosa was one of the people that we went to, and Carmen encouraged us and showed us the road and which way to go. So I think Carmen deserves a round of applause for all that she did for this community. We are grateful that today we are here to witness this occasion, and we wish to express our sincerest thanks for the leadership of Speaker Carl Hasty in this venture. We also give thanks to Mayor de Blasio, Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr., former Senator Ruth Hassel Thompson, Councilman Andy King, former Councilman Larry Seabrook, District Leader Jamal Bailey, Giovanni Brooks, Chief of Staff for Assemblyman Hasty, William Rodan of the BP's office, George Torres, who represented Mayor Bloomberg some years ago. He also supported our venture. But in conclusion, I just want to add this. It was mentioned before. I'm appealing to the community that we need to ensure that there be compliance with the hiring of jobs in our community. All right? I may not be here to talk about 2020. When this project started, I had a head full of hair. But there's a lot to benefit from this center. And again, in closing, to God be the glory. Amen.
Al, it's gonna be your 94th birthday present when we open it that day. So again, one of the other co-chair was Shirley Fearon, who has 1,000 titles in this community, but she was Al's partner on this and really keeping our feet to the fire.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is like so exciting. I'm going to try not to cry, try real hard. And it's just wonderful that all of you are here, especially you and you. It's wonderful. Of course, Al DeCastro has said everything, so now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say. When Al DeCastro came to me in 2009, because we had our first meeting in March, he spoke of things we want to do for the community. And we were aware of the fact that you try to get things done and things don't get done. And so we put together a good, strong group of leaders. Jim Alston is here. Olia Barrett, I saw her somewhere. Laura Rodan is here. Jesse Collins is here. We had a good group, about 20 people. The Granbys were here. If Sam wasn't here, he sent someone to represent them. And we worked, we had our ideas. This was the first, the best, the number one. And the second one was a supermarket on Gun Hill Road, which looks like it's almost built. We had about 10 other things, and some of them have been done. But in any event, I was so excited because I've been in this neighborhood pretty much all my life. I moved up here with my parents and my grandparents in 1950. I know that sounds like ancient history, but that's when I came up, okay? I was in kindergarten in Olinville, so I've been in the neighborhood a long time. And all we had, Olinville went from, this is real ancient history, Olinville went from kindergarten to 9th grade, and they had roller skating 1 day a week. And then we'd come up here. When I got older, we would come to Edenwall here and play knock hockey and fool around. We had the park on 216th Street. We just did not have a lot of things to do. Harlem had a Y. As my grandkids, my granddaughters here, we would go to the Y in New Rochelle. They go to the Y in White Plains, but not the Northeast Bronx. So that was like really near to my heart. And we worked very hard, but Al DeCastro is the man, let me tell you, because we had a lot of meetings, as he said, with a lot of different people, and we took everybody's business card, everybody's card, and then Al called them, followed up with them, and followed up with them. And, you know, you just got to be persistent. And that's how it went. And it's a labor of love. But I do want to mention, because I was looking over our stuff, and we did have Carmen we spoke on, but Elaine Cole from Co-op City and ACP was also one of our prime members. Bernadine Hines was another one of our prime members. Pauline Wilson. Okay, Lois Richardson. Strong workers for our community, believe so strongly in our community, and they've passed on. And that's why I wanted to mention their names here today, because, you know, we needed all that support. And we will continue to need your support. So keep on coming out to support us. As I said, so happy for you guys, especially you two. Oh, my God. They know I love them so much. They're just so amazing, because that's what you need, people who are going to get out there and they're going to fight you down. I know you get tired of people fighting you down, but they're going to fight you down all the way until we get the right thing, noble and righteous. And thanks for supporting us, and make sure you get your membership in 4 years. God bless you. Have a good day.
I do have I'd say with all of the names that have been mentioned, and there's probably a couple, and we've just been joined by what is the title? Special Advisor to the Governor for Housing. Special Advisor to the Governor. I think we should probably change the program a little bit. You want to say a couple of words? Sure. Okay. I think we owe our former senator, I hate saying that word. I'll defer to her for a second. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I have become one of those things they call commuters. First time in my life commuting to New York City, and I took everything to get here, but I got here. Thank you for waiting for me. Today is an extraordinary day for the Northeast Bronx. And I am so excited to have been here at the threshold of this. And Shirley, you didn't mention the fact that some of your first meetings were in my office. Right. But listen, we got here. And I want to also add my congratulations and thanks to Mr. DeCastro. Al DeCastro is an extraordinary man, and he's one of those very quiet, but he's a true worker bee. Well, depends on how you define quiet. See, he's like a stealth, and he makes it happen. And certainly having had a partner for 17 years almost in Carl Hastie, I understand that the two of them make one hell of a duo. And it culminated into an exciting project that stayed on the drawing board for a long time, but it came off. And sometimes it just means that the stars have to align themselves, and we had to have the borough president that we have now, and we had to have the mayor that we have now. And so all of these, unfortunately, they're all men. That's why I always have to insert myself. But it doesn't matter. They make it happen. They make it happen. They make it happen.
Unfortunately, we gotta find a little more diplomatic term. No, you don't.
They didn't give me an ambassadorship for diplomacy. You know that. And if I start changing now, nobody would recognize me. But the beauty of it is that they are outstanding men, and they have done an outstanding job for this community. And as I came in, I heard Shirley talking about how we always have to export our children to other communities to have benefits and things that they should have right here. And so here is an opportunity, and to see the entire community out here today being very much a part of something that started and making sure it comes to fruition. I'm so excited. And I play hooky from work this afternoon to be able to be here, but it was worth taking the risk because this is a community that I have loved and hope that you believe that I nurtured for the last 17 years, and thank you.
Thank you. Before Senator / Special Advisor got here, I was going to say is I have mentioned, and Al and Shirley have mentioned, we need to kind of figure out a way with the why, and that those names that we spoke about should be somewhere in this building, because the young people who are going to be able to benefit should know all of the days that the Bermadine Highs, Lois Richardson, all of the people that we've mentioned. I mentioned, of course, Carmen, who probably talked about this center more than anyone outside of probably Al and Shirley. So I think we need to try to figure out a way so that the young people, and even the older people in this community know who really had been pushing for this center for decades. So we're going to end this up by hearing from a young man from the community who we hope people like him will get a benefit from this center. And again, it's just such a prideful day for me, as it has been talked about. I think a lot of times we were victims of our own success up here in the Northeast Bronx. Since this is it's a middle class neighborhood, I think sometimes people didn't understand that we had a need. But I am again thankful to the mayor and to the borough president, to Councilman King, and to of course to former senator slash special advisor to the governor, that this is a day that all of us had labored for. So we're going to close up by hearing from Raymond Williams.
Thank you. Greetings, everybody. My name is Raymond Williams, and before we even start, I just want to give it back to all the powerful men and the powerful women too, who took part in all of this to bring this to our community. And also, not just to them, but to everybody, all of us as the Bronx community who came together, pushed for this, and strived and strived and strived, and finally got what we asked for. You see, I grew up in the Bronx all my life, and I grew up in a single mother household by my mother, Ann Campbell, alongside my little sister, Marquise Walker. And I am no stranger to tough times. But as we see in today's society, it's easy to misjudge the youth of my generation. What I feel that the YMCA can give to this community is push us into a new dawn where all of our young men, women, and the children, especially the children, can come together, grow, communicate, and to tap into the hidden potential that they always had, but never had a place to develop it. And on this historic day, it is my honor to introduce matter of fact, not even just the Assembly Speaker, but the first African-American Assembly Speaker, Carl Hastie.
So, see what our community has to offer. So again, I want to thank everyone for being here, and I know they said that they probably won't be open until 2020, but I think we want to explain to them where the site is going to be. There's a whole lot of rocks and things that have to be moved and taken out in the ULURP process, but we will make sure that it will be open as soon as possible. But again, I want to thank everyone for coming. Enjoy the summer. God bless all of you. God bless the Bronx, and God bless this community, and God bless the Y. We're going to do it right? No, I'll do it. You want to just do it here? Are there any questions from the press or media?
On this topic.
Right, on this topic.
Watch her.
On topic.
I wanted to ask the mayor who frequents the Y, if you could tell us about your relationship with the Y in Park Slope, and if there's something in particular about the Y that makes it a special place, and
Well, I want to say that I am a real devotee of the YMCA in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, but that I am the junior member of the family in this regard. My wife, Charlene, really grew up in the Y. She grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts, and the Y was like the center of her life. And that's where she got a lot of the inspiration to pursue her dreams, where she learned to be a healthy, strong person. There's a thing called Leader Corps, that was part of the Y in Springfield, Massachusetts. She was chosen to be part of it. Little did they know she would one day be the First Lady of New York City, helping to lead this whole city. And she also, I want to make this point, having heard from this good young man, that one of the things the Y did also for her was encouraged her to see her future, because in her family, no one in the previous generation, or maybe only one person, had gone to college, and it wasn't a typical assumption or aspiration. And in the Y, she was told what she could be and what kind of potential she had. And she ended up not just going to college, but going to one of the most renowned women's colleges in all of America, Wellesley College, which I will note is the college from whom graduated our next president of the United States. Just thought I'd add that. Little note there. But so the Y meant that for Charlene. For me, the Y has been, it's where we took our kids for gym and swim, and all sorts of things that got Kiara and Dante a very healthy start. For me personally, it's where I go to stay healthy, to stay, focused and sane. It's an amazing place. And one of the things you find about the Y all over the country is it's welcoming, it's embracing of all people. When we talk about open to everyone, regardless of ability to pay, the Y has a real sense of mission about being inclusive and making the opportunity there for everyone. So, there could not have been a better partner in this effort, and particularly recognizing how important it was to the community leaders who fought for years that it be something for everyone. They didn't want to create a private club. They wanted to create something that really would have that spirit and that belief being open for everyone. So I can say on behalf of all my partners in city government, all my colleagues, we regard the Y as a very kindred partner and a very effective partner in all we do. And thank you, Sharon. Any other questions on this from the media on this topic? Going once.
Quick question. Considering the Christopher School is on this property, are the facilities going to be opened up for children with special needs?
You're saying considering the Christopher School is on this facility, continue?
Children with special needs be able to use the YMCA facility if Christopher did open?
Yes.
That was easy. Yes. That's why he is speaker. That's leadership.
It's for everyone. The center's for everyone.
Are there any worries about the community kind of opening up for middle school kids being on this property kind of closed?
That the interaction of the school and the Y has been discussed, and the details of that, everyone is comfortable with how the two will coexist here on the site.
Okay, last call. Anything on this topic from the media? Going once, twice. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations.
Thank you again, everyone.
Okay, yourself.